I'm the sluttiest dragon in the universe, and welcome back to my apartment. So, my last video was more of a very loose, instructional, very basic pole work video. This time around, I'm not really going to do that. I'm more going to show you how I build onto a combo. And what a combo is, like from my last video, is basically just stacking moves on top of each other. You just stack and stack and stack until you can't go anymore, until you just like keel over from exhaustion. And so the intention here is more to get familiar with the moves, become more fluid and more confident doing them. So I look at least a little tiny bit like I know what I'm doing. So hopefully that goes well today. We'll see, we'll learn, we'll sweat, we'll pass out from exhaustion.
Guys, so I'm going to slow this down to kind of give you a breakdown here. So I'm going to start with a climb here, and that climb is going to shift into a hip hold. So I'm going to come down, my inside leg is going to grip at the knee pit, and my outside leg is going to swing behind the pole. And then my top hand there is going to reach in between my legs, and I'm going to shift myself downward and my leg out. And this is called a butterfly. Why? I have no idea. But it's a pretty move. I will shamefully admit my dismount here is pretty terrible. Yeah, that's not great. Okay, here I try to switch things up a little. So now I'm starting from a genie. So a genie is going to start with the inside leg gripping in the knee pit, and then pushing myself back into a sitting position on the pole. And then I'm going to reach up into a elbow grip and a side sit. I'm gonna guess this is what this is called. It makes the most sense. And then that's gonna swing into a hip hold position. And just like before, oh, I lost momentum here, so I had to push myself. So just like before, reaching between the legs and pulling myself down and the leg out. This looks so much better in motion. Oh my God. The butterfly, yes. Once again, dismount, terrible, 0. Okay, so now I'm gonna switch it up a little, not much, but a tiny difference. Instead, I'm gonna start from a climb again. Because you may have noticed that I'm really low when I get to the butterfly position, like my head pretty much almost face plants every time. So I'm gonna climb and go into a genie, which is gripping at the knee pit and then bringing the outside leg in front of the pole into a sitting position. So I'm slightly higher this time, not very, very much, but this is actually a very short pole. So I'm getting a little fancy there. This is pole, guys. Whenever you have a chance to get fancy, get fancy. Even if you have no idea what you're doing, get fancy. And then coming up into an elbow grip and a side sit. And then that's, of course, going to swing into a hip hold. And then down into a butterfly. And see, as I said before, I'm a little higher up. I don't come very close to having my face in contact with the stage. And then that's just me being fancy again. Once again, it's pole. Get fancy. And once again, terrible dismount. All right, let's put that all together in a fluid dance piece.
As you can hear, my breath is very labored right now, so it's a lot. Okay, so that was a lot of different moves in one. I incorporated some last week into the beginning of that routine, just to kind of fill it out, make it look prettier. If you're getting into this, remember, breathe, take breaks in between. It is very exhausting to do this for that period of time. One thing to remember, and I don't think I did this in any of what I just showed you, is the whole how this. Okay, let me start over again. Why this looks so good is your hold time. So basically, the longer you can hold a position, the prettier it looks. Now, mind you, a lot of these positions get very exhausting very quickly, so holding them is very exhausting. So I don't think I held them for very long. I'm still getting used to a lot of them. So that's endurance that you build up. I'm still working on that. So have some patience with me. But anyway, so that was, I lost count. I don't even remember how many moves that was. But ultimately, it started off with 2 of last week, I think. And then into a climb, into a genie, and then that into a elbow grip, into whatever that position is called. I have no idea what it is. And then that turns into a hip hold and into a butterfly. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Hope that it was a nice distraction to watch me do things incorrectly or just weird. I don't know. Like, share, subscribe. If you don't, that's cool too. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.